On this episode 37 of the AskMario show, we're going to talk about combining sports with training in the gym. So the question of the day came from David, and David was asking, hey Mario, is it possible to go to the gym and make progress while doing a sport 1 to 2 times a week, aka bouldering for me? How would you do it? Very good question. Actually, I'm assuming that a lot of people that are watching these videos, they have their little sports, they have their hobbies, and gym is not the only thing that you're doing or you're trying to incorporate in your life, right? So that's an aspect that when it comes to combining different kinds of sports with the gym, there's definitely some of guidelines to consider in some of the stuff. So as far as doing a sport like bouldering, or if you're doing basketball, if you're doing soccer, and if it's just 1 or 2 times a week, then it's perfectly fine to add 2 to 3 strength training sessions in the gym besides that, right? Only thing that you need to consider here is that you need to monitor your fatigue and you need to see to kind of tailor the workout around the days that you're doing the sport. So for example, if you overtrain your triceps, then if you go doing basketball the next day, you're probably going to have an issue with your accuracy, with the way you do your sport. So that's something to consider. But as far as like a sport where you're playing soccer, if you do train your arms and if you do train a little bit of like heavily the upper body the day before that session, you shouldn't have any problems. Because myself, I used to be a soccer player before when I was in high school for a little bit, right? I understand how the lower body and the upper body, at least as far as soccer is concerned, a lot of us, a lot of the colleagues that were training with me, they also they went to the gym a little bit, and we did lower body at that point in the gym as well. We did some squats, we did some functional work, right? As far as strength training in general, it can only do you good, right? Getting stronger and getting better in the gym will only improve your sport. I strongly believe that any athlete that wants to be a complete athlete, besides practicing your sport, which is mainly technique and power and other stuff, they also need to be doing a little bit of strength work. Being that 1 to 3 sessions a week, it's fine. But I'm guessing if you're doing your sport only 1 to 2 times a week, then you shouldn't have any issues incorporating this strength training routine as well. Just keep it very, very simple. Manage your fatigue. Kind of be in tune with what your body is telling you, right? If you're beat up, right? If you're super beat up, either for the gym or for your sport, then you're doing something wrong, right? You need to manage the volume so you kind of can fit both in the same schedule. I do have several clients, and the majority of my clients are actually doing hobbies plus gym. Like their hobbies include like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo, or they're soccer players or they're basketball players, and they never had any issues incorporating a few sessions of strength training throughout their week, and it actually made their physique look amazing, because when someone is an athlete already, they have, I guess, a high work capacity as well to handle a lot of workload, and eventually you're gonna get used to it as well, right? That's something to consider. If the first week when you add your gym, if you feel sore, if you do feel kind of beat up and crushed, that doesn't mean that gym is not for you, right? That just means that you haven't adapted already. So give your body, I guess, 2 to 3 weeks to adapt to the routine, and then try to manage your fatigue and see if after 3 weeks you're still feeling the same symptoms, or if your performance is declining in gym or either in your sport. Then you kind of manage the volume and keep looking at your body in terms of body parts. Which body parts are you using for your specific sport, and then kind of tailor your workout to avoid these body parts at least like 48 hours. Training these body parts 48 hours before your session when you have your sport. That will kind of prevent you from having any other issues. Besides that, it's fairly simple. Try it and see if it works for you. As I said, follow some of these guidelines and you should be fine. It's a very good decision to go by strength training with any sport that you're doing, especially if it's just a hobby 1 to 3 times a week. That's fine. It's just going to improve you overall and make you a more complete athlete. Besides that, quick question, quick episode. If you have a question for the Ask Mario show, definitely leave it below with a hashtag AskMario, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.